following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
All right, Whacker. This is your first time at this sort of thing. Let's see if you can cut it.
Hi. You want to buy a couple of tickets to Policeman's Ball?
Well, Miss Fong, it's obvious that you have the Burbank flu. Go home, get in bed, and take 2 mandarins every 4 hours.
But Doctor, I think you are confused. A Mandarin is a rich Chinese.
You're right. In that case, go home, get in bed, and take 2 coolies every 4 hours.
In a more serious vein, we do have an expert on the Hong Kong flu here tonight to advise us all on this serious problem. Doctor, what do you recommend for the Hong Kong flu?
Later that same epidemic.
And that will prevent the Hong Kong flu.
Yes, sir.
Chocolate Marmaduke, please.
No Marmadukes left. How about an ice cream cone? All right.
Just a minute, sir. I'm a new teller here, and I've never handled a holdup before. God, could you help me over here with this bandit?
As once again the Christmas holidays approach from the east and our expectations sink slowly in the west, from high atop the exclusive Calchime gravel quarry beside the healing waters of Burbank's Memorial Drainage Ditch, NBC is legally obliged to present Laugh-In and Martin's Row-In. Starring Dan Rowan and Dick Martin, with guest star James Garner, the Weir Brothers, and Judy Carn, Artie Johnson, with Ruth Buzzy, Henry Gibson, Goldie Hawn, Dave Madden, Alan Seuss, and Joanne Worley, Chelsea Brown, yours truly, Gary Owens, and Morgul the Friendly Dreld as Morgul the Friendly Dreld. But first, this totally extraneous message.
I've had it, Zeki.
What's wrong now, Aristotle?
All the other guys at the Uppits have nice crisps, lettuce in their sandwiches. But why is my lettuce always soggy and wilted?
Oh, brute. You think it's easy to run a home on $100,000 a week?
Man from Glad, rich couple behaving poorly.
Here, you two. The course of true love should never be endangered because your lettuce is limp. Let me see that sandwich. Aha! It isn't the lettuce at all. You've been using $1,000 bills.
How was I to know? The refrigerator is full of them.
Son of a gun.
Jackie and Aristotle, really, lettuce doesn't grow on trees, you know. Oh, incidentally, you ain't seen nothing yet, folk.
Mr. Garner, I admire you very much, and I would like to shake your hand.
Why, certainly.
Fell for the old, I admire you very much and would like to shake your hand, Floyd.
I'm sorry, sir, we don't buy guns here. Try the pawn shop next door.
You're looking, pretty pensive this evening? Well, I guess so. I spent the weekend in the old neighborhood I grew up in.
Oh, yeah? You probably have quite a feeling for those good old days.
Well, I got a lot better feeling for those good old nights.
Hey, when you look back on your childhood, what do you see?
Oh, I see a little boy on a farm in Kansas, dreaming of a little girl with blonde pigtails.
I never knew you grew up on a farm.
I didn't.
Well, where are you in this picture?
I was with the girl.
Well, what about the little boy?
Let him find his own girl.
What sort of neighborhood did you grow up in?
Very small. One room.
One-room neighborhood.
One room. Yeah. And tough? You wouldn't believe this. We had a police curfew. You had to be off the streets at 12 o'clock.
Oh, it's not so bad.
12 o'clock noon?
That sounds like it's a pretty tough neighborhood.
Well, I guess so. You know, if you were absent more than 2 days, the teacher marked you dead.
Well, you must have some fond memory of your neighborhood.
I did. Moving.
Well, that's a good idea. Moving right along, here's our laugh-in look at Potpourri.
Operator, give me Los Angeles, Crestview 51193.
You'll have to speak up, miss.
Okay, Los Angeles, I want Los Angeles. Give me Crestview 51193.
Yes, it's a female, all right. I can tell by the coloring. She seems to be calling her mate. Yes, here he comes. He's approaching her, and they seem to be calling each other. Now he's approaching closer. Oh, darn! What happened? They pulled the blinds.
The weekly meeting of the Pasadena Planned Parenthood Society was canceled today when someone ran off with the plans.
I don't get it.
Well, that's a shame, Gladys. You mean you really don't get it?
What do you want, a sworn affidavit?
Come on, Jimbo. Let's talk about it. Trust me.
Oh, don't feel badly, Tyrone. Here, have a walnut.
Want to go to the swings?
They say that for a really successful marriage, a husband and wife must work together to help each other. So tonight, we have with us Mrs. Donald Puffer, 1969 winner of the Woman Behind the Man Award. How do you do it, Mrs. Puffer?
Well, it is difficult, Mr. Garner. I mean, I put my husband through college by scrubbing floors by day and ushering at the local movie house at night. And then, while he was struggling, I took in washing and waited on tables, and I did his bookkeeping and typing while he was on the road.
Well, your efforts certainly paid off, Mrs. Puffer.
Thank you.
Today, your husband is one of the world's wealthiest men.
Yes.
Tell us, when did the turning point come?
Well, it was right after I divorced that loser and I married wealthy old Mr. Puffer.
You know, there's a legend in show business to the effect that a really great performer could get laughs by reading the phone book. Here now to test that theory is Miss Ruth Buzzy.
It's Billy Barty for you.
Jones J. Jones, Mrs. E. Jones, Peter A. Jones, Willifred Physician. Oh, well, I guess they've heard that before.
I tell you, Miss Jenkins, I'm going broke trying to compete with Flasher Toys. They keep coming up with new ideas and outselling us.
But what do you plan to do?
Spy on them. We're going to copy every move Flasher Toys makes.
Boss. Flasher Toys just changed their distribution center. They discontinued air freight and bought 500 trucks.
Yeah, well, thanks, Leroy. Charlie, discontinue air freight and buy 500 trucks.
Hey, boss, Flasher Toys just pulled all their advertising out of magazines and put it on TV.
Okay, Mort. Hey, pull all our advertising out of magazines and put it on TV.
Hey, boss. Flasher Toys just pulled their fanny dolls off the line and junked the molds.
Doll department, pull the fannies and destroy the molds. That's right, destroy the molds. See, everything they do, we do.
Hey, boss, Flasher Toys just went bankrupt.
You got me again.
Now, you looky here.
You told me that this saw would cut down 24 trees a day. I work from sunup to sundown, but I can only cut 13.
Oh, that's strange. Huh. Well, maybe there's something wrong with the motor.
Motor? Motor? What's a motor?
Well, so much for potpourri.
Right, and this week's lucky winner is Mrs. Deborah Carl of Bunyan, Washington. Good luck, Mrs. Carl.
Oh, Mr. Wagner, would you audition me for a job in the movies?
Sure. Let me hear you say, I have two together in the front row.
How you been, Goldie?
And now for those of you who would like to hear that again.
That's not funny. Mr. Gardner, I must say that I admire you and your shoulders very much. And I'd say, well, I'd just like to shake your hand.
No? I'm on to that old trick, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, now you'll grab me and you'll bend me back and kiss me.
Oh, but whatever do you mean, handsome?
Well, it's like this.
Like how? How? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, you devil, you tricked me again.
Bud.
Oh, what's a transmitter?
A Japanese radio.
No, that's a transistor.
Excuse me, but a transistor is someone just passing through town.
Oh, no. I think you'll find that's a transient.
No, wait, a transient? Isn't it that little window over the hotel door?
Oh, no, Joanne, that's a transom.
Oh, come on now. Transom's what you kidnap people and hold them for.
That's ransom.
No. Anything that's ransom's been left in the refrigerator for too long.
Not ransom, rancid.
Well, I thought Rancid was a movie about Spain starring Charlton Heston.
Now you're thinking of El Cid.
Oh, wait a minute. Isn't Al Cid that Mexican comedian?
No, that's Cantinflas. No, I speak Spanish, and Cantinflas is a Mexican bar. Well, you don't speak it very well. Mexican bar is called a cantina. It's a poor translation.
Translation? Isn't that where you send out signals?
I believe that's a transmitter.
Well, what's a transmitter?
Yeah, what is a transmitter?
Well, have you ever seen one? I mean, what else would you call it?
I've worked in every phase of show business. Legitimate theater, films, television, now this.
You think this cast is wild now? You ought to see them during recess.
Hey, Tommy, I finally figured out why the show is so popular. You see, the straight man has a mustache and his partner's a dumbbell. And, you know, they do satirical material and they're always in trouble with the censors.
Why didn't we think of that? I say, as long as a Jewish boy from the Bronx can play a disturbed Italian in an Irish Catholic community, there's still hope for America.
Excuse me, sir. I would just love a chocolate Marmaduke.
Oh, there's been quite a run on those. How about a strawberry ice cream?
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're nice.
Well, thank you.
Is this a deposit or a withdrawal?
And now, Dick, we're really going to have some fun.
Raquel Welch is here.
No, now it's time for We Can't Top This.
Aha, I was right. Raquel Welch is here.
No, it's our new department. We Can't Top This. You see, every once in a while we come across actual newspaper stories so weird, there's nothing more to say. So we'll read them exactly as we found them in the nation's leading publications.
Sounds great. Let's get to the goodies.
All right. For instance, like this story found in Newsweek magazine. It seems that the English actress Margaret Rutherford had an adopted son, Gordon Hall. Well, recently, Gordon changed his sex and became Miss Dawn Hall. And then she, the former he, married a Negro garage mechanic in a Baptist church. Dame Margaret was delighted. The family, in fact, has only one real qualm. I do wish, a great aunt declared from London, that Dawn wasn't marrying a Baptist.
Well, I don't think they ought to worry about that. Dawn can always change her religion.
Yeah?
After all, she changed everything else.
Speaking of disappearances, here's Jimmy.
Salerno, Italy, United Press International. Giuseppe Caccamo did not return after joining the Italian army 26 years ago. His wife, Rosina, and children, Tira and Maria, thought he was dead. They donned traditional black mourning dress and prayed frequently for him. Then Mrs. Caccamo told newsmen today her husband came home. He wouldn't say where he had been since 1942, nor what he had been doing. There was a big party with relatives and friends, and when it was over, Caccamo disappeared again.
If I were you, I wouldn't let Caccamo walk my dog. My wife, maybe, but not my dog.
Hey, here's another one you'll like.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Associated Press. The city commissions new ordinance to ban obscenity in books, magazines, and records for those under 17 is so specific in describing anatomical features and acts which may not be portrayed that the Miami Herald reported the definition is unprintable.
You mean the obscenity law was so dirty they couldn't even print it?
Nope.
I'd call that a dirty shame.
I quite agree with you.
Where can I get a copy?
Come on, Dick.
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
Well, whatever turns you on. First, here's our last one. From the Los Angeles Times editorial section. You got it there.
I got it here. Atlanta, Georgia. Governor Lester Maddox of Georgia told a news conference the other day in answer to criticism about Georgia's prison reform. Quote, "We're doing the best we can, and before we do much better, we're going to have to get a better grade of prisoners," unquote.
I know. Sounds to me like they need a better grade of governor. However, we can't top this for tonight, Dick. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I still wish Raquel Welch was here.
Gave her a solid gold walnut. Can you read the devotion in my eyes? Can you read the passion in my heart? Can you read the bumps on my head?
Later that same park bench.
So you say this little old man in a black coat attacked you, huh?
Yes, that's right, officer. It was awful.
Oh, well, let me take down your particulars.
Boy, you can't trust anybody these days.
Now, that's what this show needs. More pregnant pathos.
Well, it's about time somebody rang my chimes.
Well, by golly, he read from the cue card. I see by the clock in the old clubhouse cuckoo, it's that time once again.
Time to ring Big Al's chime?
No, you ding-a-ling.
Time for Alan to ring our chime?
No, wrong again. But be that as it may, it's time for Laugh-In's Discovery of the Week, and are you in for a treat?
Don't tell me I get to ring old Goldie's chimes.
Oh, better than that. Tonight we have an act that's been rehearsing all season long for this, their television premiere. And now the moment we've all been waiting for.
Another Laugh-In first.
You might say that. So without further ado, let's welcome the unique melodic selections of the first string quartet of beautiful downtown Burbank.
That was the moment we've all been waiting for?
No, that was the moment we've all been waiting for.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, there certainly is. Excuse me. I can see you have no appreciation for fine local musical talent. Where is your civic pride?
I lost it at the Symphonette.
Well, I suggest you go and find it.
I got a better idea.
And that would be?
I think I'll go ring old Goldie's chime.
Buns!
Mr. Garner, I admire you very much.
Yes.
And I've seen all your movies.
Yes, Goldie?
That's all.
Well, wait a minute, aren't you? You're supposed to shake my hand.
Well, if I do that, you'll want to do this. You're not going to trick me, Jim Garner, movie star.
Could I have a serious moment with you, please? No. I just want to ask a question. Do you believe in the hereafter?
Of course I do.
Then you know what I'm here after.
And now a temporal suspension to enable our transmitting locus to identify its nomenclature.
Goldie, why didn't you just say station break?
It's too hard to pronounce.
Mr. Garner, I admire you very much, but unfortunately, all they'll let me do is shake your hand.
Sure, Chelsea. Your place or mine? Here, have a Walnetto.
Very interesting. But right now in Birmingham, they're running a test pattern. You believe it?
Oui, oui.
Oh, I wish somebody would ring my chimes.
I don't get it.
And never will.
Me either.
This is really the Burbank of television shows.
Hi, Big Jim here. The news has become sort of an institution on the Laugh In, so for those of you who've always wondered what goes on in an institution, here come the news, here come the news, here come the news.
What's the news across the nation? We have got the information in a way we hope will amuse you. We just love to give you our views. La-da-dee-da, ladies and gents, laugh and most and here's them.
And now, for the news of the present, here's the man to whom the news wouldn't be the news without the news. Here's Ducky.
That's Dickie.
Oh, well, there he is.
Chicago, Illinois. In order to finance a publicity campaign refuting rumors of police corruption, Mayor Daley held a police auction today. Well-known underworld figure James Apples Mulligan purchased a paddy wagon, 2 patrolmen, and a desk sergeant. Washington, D.C., with the fantastic success of the Beatle album showing John Lennon and his girlfriend nude, it was rumored today Everett Dirksen's next album may feature a nude photograph of the senator taking a bath. The album is tentatively titled Everett McKinley Dirksen Does His Thing. Meanwhile, in Warsaw, the Polish economy collapsed entirely today when someone asked the government for a change of 10. Take it away, Goldie.
And now, with the news of the future, 20 years from now, here's Dan.
That was terrible, Goldie. Shape up.
California, 1989, 20 years from now. From Frank Sinatra's home in Palm Springs, where he has retired for health reasons, ex-Los Angeles Mayor Sam Yorty has announced that he is still available for a high government post should President Nixon call upon him. In Washington, Mr. Nixon said, "Sam who?" New York City, 1989, the World Ecumenical Movement reached its peak today when ex-Rabbi Hyman Rabinowitz married former Sister Mary Catherine in a ceremony conducted by Tibetan guru Randar Shan. Bride and groom announced they will raise their children as Orthodox atheists, God willing. Paris, 1989. As 98-year-old Charles de Gaulle continued to rule France, opposition leader Pierre Cardin reminded his followers today that the general is only human and cannot go on forever. Monsieur Cardin was immediately arrested and charged with heresy.
That's much better. My feet were just killing me. And now, for the sports, here's Laughing's baseball diamond in the rough, old Fongo himself, Alan Seuss.
Hi, Big Al. Featurette. Love that. Love it. Just got back from Calabasas frog jumping contest. Disgusting. Little green devils hopping around going, "Arr, arr, arr, arr." Oh, some of those beasts could really jump. Good grief. But the longest leap of all, 27.5 feet, was by yours truly when one of those slimy rascals landed inside my shirt. Oh. Shudder. I hope I don't get warts on my Fruit of the Loom. Ta-ta.
And now, with all the weather that's fit to breathe, here's Downwind Dave. Take it downwind, Dave.
Hi, Downwind Dave here in sunny Los Angeles, where our good Mayor Yorty has solved his smog problem. This morning, Mayor Yorty moved to Phoenix. But we have to be philosophical about it. Our loss is Phoenix's loss.
By now, organ transplants are becoming everyday occurrences. Soon, arranging for one will be as simple as buying a new suit.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
I'm Martin Stone. Remember me?
Oh, of course. How could I forget? You're one of my best customers. Yeah. Let's see. Last year, you had a kidney transplant, and the year before that, a liver, right? And one lung. Yeah. Well, what can I do for you today?
Well, I was looking for something kind of new in a heart.
Oh, well, you're in luck. We're having a sale.
No kidding. Oh, that's great. You see, I'm getting married next week, and I thought I'd like to try it out on the honeymoon.
Your honeymoon?
Yeah.
In that case, let me show you a few accessories.
Well, folks, that about wraps up the news for tonight, right, Duck?
That's Dick. Right. And for those of you in the Rocky Mountain time zone, be careful driving downhill. Oh, and tonight's second place winner is Mrs. Norman Torog of Coos Bay, Oregon.
Very interesting. But if you ask me, the whole caboodle was fixed. Coos Bay, my foot. Norman the Toreg lives in Arabia.
right, sir. Now, I'll put this in the safety deposit box for you. Oh, and don't go away. Wait for your receipt.
Mother. Mrs. Garner, I admire you very much and would like to shake your hand.
I'm sorry, but I didn't understand a word you said.
I said I admire you very much and would love to shake your hand.
I'm sorry.
All right, I said I admire you. Oh, never mind.
Now I understand.
Hello, baby.
My mother told me never to talk to stranglers.
Dumb. Hey, you know what I miss?
No, what do you miss?
Well, we're not doing a party on tonight's show.
Well, we don't have to do the same thing every week.
Yeah, but I like the party.
So do I, but we still don't have to do the same thing every week.
I suppose not. Well, no use crying over spilled milk, I suppose.
No, I'm glad to see you're taking it so well.
Yep, might as well just forget it. Come on, let's go.
Where are we going?
For the party, where else?
Might as well come, too. You're all invited.
Well, I hear in Red China the government is burning books again. No reason for you Republicans to worry. It's not a political problem. Probably just a shortage of coal.
You know, Boris reads just everything he can get his little hands on, which is wonderful ever since I had my body painted.
You know, I read a book every week. It's called Candy.
If the relaxation in the book world keeps up, pretty soon they'll have to mail the Bible in plain brown wrappers.
Hey, Goldie.
What?
Have you read Hedy Lamar's autobiography?
No, who wrote it?
Hedy Lamar wrote it.
Well, what's it about?
About 300 pages.
Oh, that Hedy Lamar autobiography.
In Smolensk, they just published a book about men who have yachts and spiritualities and spectomoyaises and still has a nice skin condition.
I guess everyone has his favorite poem, but the one that really turns me on is Leaves of Grass.
Have you ever taken out a librarian, Dick?
No, I took out a librarian Susan, and I took out a librarian Nancy. But offhand, I've never taken out a librarian Dick that I can remember.
Dad's really miffed at me. To get me into college, he had to endow a library. Then I led the student revolt and burned it up.
You know, Jimmy, every year I get one book for my birthday. Oh, I wish just once somebody would give me the complete works.
In my neighborhood, the first grade has a new textbook with soul. It's called Dick and Jane, Let It All Hang Out.
You know, the trouble with reading Candy is 2 hours later, you're hungry again.
Well, if they really want to keep pornography away from the kids, put it in the textbooks, where they'll never see it.
Tune in next time when we'll find out what is meant by Margot Lane being Lamont Cranston's friend and companion.
Could I have a chocolate Marmaduke, please?
I'm sorry we're out. How about a nice ice cream cone?
That's exactly what I wanted.
Well,
Listen, all I have here is a $20 bill.
20?
But I, do you have change?
Oh, come on now. Now, you misspelled robbery, and you forgot the commas after 10s, 20s, and 50s, and your penmanship is atrocious. And go over and write that again 100 times.
I already did this bit once, Goldie.
I know, but we just did it again.
Why would any man want to go to war when there's good food to be eaten? Why must a man go to war just to see that his enemy is beaten? Souffles abound all over the world. Show me your escargot and maybe then we'll know, Why would any man want to go to war when food abounds in natural state? Things that you could digest any day you want.
And now, moving along musically, here is the Frank McGee All-Girl Orchestra singing the Nielsen Concerto, number 96.
Hi.
Hi.
Could I have a chocolate marmy-do?
We're all out, I'm sorry, but you could have our special.
Oh.
My pleasure.
Anybody home?
Put the money in the bag and, Oh, so what's your count number?
Now, sir, do you have any receipt for these deductions? Well, can you prove that all these people are actually dependent upon you? Well, please, I'm only trying to help you. Well, it looks as if you might be entitled to quite a large refund.
Approximately how big a refund in your estimation, sir?
Here, why don't you take these walnuttos and plant them with your corn, you yo-yo?
You haven't got a jujube on you, have you?
Here.
Mr. Gardner, I admire you very much, and I...
You wouldn't dare.
I was kidding! Just kidding!
All right then, fellas. It's about that time. Let me have it. I'm ready.
Come on, Judy. Open your eyes. There's no socket to me anymore.
There isn't. Oh, you wouldn't leave me on, would you?
Why, of course not. This once, fellas, let's spare our blameless Moppet from these unending indignities, to which, Judy, I must say you have displayed amazing fortitude and endurance. You have held in there no matter what they've done to you, and you've taken it all, never a whimper.
Dan, that's really sweet of you, but the audience is getting bored.
What did you say, Judy?
They're getting bored. Bored. You know, bored.
Bored?
Yes, bored. Cute. Well, at least it wasn't water. I get it all now. It was all just a trap, wasn't it?
Hey, guys, she really fell for it.
Yeah, she sure did.
At least it wasn't wet.
All right. Now, I'm getting bored.
What did you say, Jim?
I said I'm getting bored.
They forgot this, Jim. I've got it all. You might as well have it.
Let the man who would pluck a pussy willow beware, for he may find he hath a tiger by the tail, or a plant by the pot.
Hi, Goldie.
Hi, Dan.
No, I'm not Dan. I'm Dick.
Oh, yeah, well, if you're Dick, where's Dan? Dan!
Which one is Dan?
I wonder if you'd mind if I left a little early tonight.
Well, certainly I'd mind.
Well, a friend of mine is laid up, and I promised to stop by, that's all.
Oh, really? What's the matter with him?
Him?
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm supposed to change the bandages.
Oh, it sounds serious.
Yeah, she got a chest cold.
I never heard of anybody bandaging a chest cold.
Neither did she.
Well, I suppose the big thing is to keep her from getting pneumonia.
No, the big thing is to keep her from getting well.
After working on television for so long, it's really refreshing getting back into radio like this.
And now, folk, here's one of this week's funny letters to laugh in, sent in by Douglas Molitor of Altadena, California.
When I was 12, my uncle sent me abroad.
Gee, all my uncle ever sent me was a bicycle.
Keep America Beautiful by Henry Gibson. Litter is an autograph, so don't sign your name in garbage. Don't make your street corner Grauman's Chinese pig.
Well, I see by the little old finger in the air that it's time once again for the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award.
Well, who gets the upright appendage tonight?
Those crack shots down at the Winchester Rifle Company.
Really? I thought they were doing a bang-up job.
Well, they are. This is for their youth education program. You see, they've realized they've only been making guns for adults, and they've completely ignored the kids.
Oh, but some big shot took care of it, huh?
Yep, they've come out with a kiddie size. A #1 bang-bang, drop-'em-dead shotgun for the young set.
A real shotgun for children?
Right, including, as the Winchester ad says, and I quote, a brass bead sight that helps the untrained eye zero in on target. And inside, there's that one-shot shell just waiting to teach a boy how to make every shot count, unquote.
That sounds kind of dangerous to me.
Well, I guess you have to take chances if you want to sell shotguns.
You're absolutely right.
Award up.
Here, Winchester Rifle Company, to avoid accidents, jam this in your loading chamber.
Say, isn't that statue pretty small?
Yeah, but when it grows up, it'll really do some damage.
Be sure to tune in next week when the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate, or the Wonderful Wiggler, as our choreographer calls it, will be given to the United Nations for all the wonderful work they've done in Biafra.
Well, would you like to Jewish wrestle?
Oh, I thought I'd just try again. Are you still out of chocolate Marmaduke?
I'm afraid so, Mom, but I have something else for you.
Oh.
Not too much starch.
Alan, do you have the flu? Because if you don't, you got it now.
Come on, hurry up.
Well, if you don't like our service, you can take your business elsewhere. Dummy.
Sit.
Nuts.
Well, it's time to say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Ducky.
Good night, Ducky.
Good night, Ducky.
I prefer Dick.
Who's Dick? And you know, I think you're even going to be interested in next week's show. We've managed to get us a guest next week. Wait till I tell her who it is.
It's not that. I was laughing at something my aunt once told me.
Oh, yeah, well, your aunt would like to see the show next week.
She was trapped in a rehearsal hall over at Warner Brothers about a few years ago with 145 tap dancers on an old Dick Powell, Ruby Keeler movie, you know.
Oh,
That's what she came out. I'll never forget it.
That's so. Yes, well, even so, next
I thought perhaps what she said when she came out of the rehearsal hall would be of interest.
I suppose we're going to have to hear what'd she say.
What'd she say? She happens to be here. She'll tell you herself.
Your aunt is here?
Sure, Aunt Ann.
Oh, I always wanted to meet her.
Aunt Ann?
That's Aunt Ann. You remember when you were trapped in the rehearsal hall with 155 tap dancers on that Dick Powell, Ruby Keeler movie?
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah, I
Well,
did.
You remember when you left the room? You remember what you said?
Yeah,
Tell
well,
him.
all right. All I said was, blow in my ear and I'll follow you anywhere.
Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, everybody. That's Aunt Ann there.
If Mickey Rooney married Joy Lansing, he'd probably jump for joy.
Artie, where are you? Oh, my brother is a hypochondriac.
People like that make me sick.
Hi, Dave. You know something? The one thing that made me sad when I was traveling was all those Yankee go home signs.
Were you in Europe?
No, in Alabama, in Georgia, in Tennessee.
Dick, what does saddest mean?
Beats me.
Maybe the reason so many people go to Tijuana is that the grass is always greener on the other side. Like that?
Gee, Goldie, you sure have pretty eyes.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked them. They were a birthday present.
Goldie, if you were any smarter, well, would you be dumb?
How many guesses do I get?
I just came from graduation exercises at Berkeley. It was a riot.
I fired the guy who gives me my massages.
Oh, why, Henry?
He rubs me the wrong way.
James Garner!
Oh, yes?
I've got one for you. What do you call a person who puts you in touch with the spirit world?
Bartender.
You hairy devil!
Now, when you make your getaway, don't go through the park because it's full of muggers. Careful.
Mr. Garner, my ancestors came across the Delaware in a rowboat.
That's nothing. I have an aunt who came across in a canoe.
This program was pre-recorded because after 6 o'clock, the prices go up to $3 a plate.
Very interesting. And now, a special message for Matt Dillon. How come since Chester left you, he don't limp no more? Good night, Lucy, mein Liebchen. Und good night, Spiro, whoever you are.